Hi, Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? How's all the inmates? We're getting out. We're getting paroled slowly. I don't know what part of the country you're in. I'm in Kansas. It's getting better. Anyway, okay, we're gonna we're gonna talk to your dad. My dog. Anyway, I like to explain that I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. And I describe the picture the best way I can. They never waste a message, so there's always a reason for what they say or what they show. They won't give me all the details. They'll give me just enough so you should know what they're talking about, and if you don't, just keep it in mind, because you'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will see this and they'll validate it and go, oh, I know what he's talking about. So this is not an exact science. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. It's we just communicate the best way we can, but they're pretty good about it. It's their show, their show. I let them run it. I don't think I've ever had one get out of hand. And oh, my helper Bob is here. I don't know if this has anything to do with your dad, but for some reason Bob killed himself. So I don't know if that has anything to do with your dad, but Bob's here helping to support us. Bob, love you. Okay, so all right, your dad, your dad's coming in. He's going vroom vroom, vroom vroom. He's talking about racing, so I don't know if he was involved with. He liked to watch NASCAR, dirt track racing, and then he's going like this, so like he's on a motorcycle, vroom vroom. So I don't know if he likes just driving fast, you know. He is mentioning NASCAR or NASCAR type racing. Something could be something. Oh, I'm going to track those. They always go left. I love NASCAR. Used to go to had season tickets every year. So he's acknowledging that. He says you are a good boy. You were always a good boy. You're still a good boy. You need to hear that I still think you're a good boy. It's like he pats you on top of the head. So you should feel that. And I never know how somebody else is going to feel the energy. We all feel it a little different. So I don't know what your hair looks like. I never look at anybody's Facebook page ahead of time because then I get too much stuff in my head. There's plenty of stuff in there roaming around now. So you should feel he was going like, like patting you on top of the head. Like if you were a little kid, pat you on the head. And you probably did that when you were little if you were old enough to remember. So anyway, you should feel it. And if it's nothing else, you'll feel your hair move. Or you could feel the warmth. You could feel tingling like goosebumps. Sometimes it even feels like pins and needles. If I'm not paying attention, I've had them actually that felt like they were sticking me with a pin, going, hey, we're trying to get your attention. Hey. So, and if they do that, you can tell them, hey, that hurt. Back that off just a little bit. But so when you feel that, acknowledge him, validate him, tell him you love him, and ask him if you want more. Ask him for more. Give him permission. Allow him to do it if that's what you want. He's saying something about your self-esteem, and he's showing you like you're kind of hanging your head like your self-esteem is kind of taking a hit. Oh, he's gonna make me want to cry. He's kind of showing like you've been really sad about something, or your self-esteem's taking a hit, or something that's kind of knocked your butt in the dirt. And he's showing like you're kind of falling backwards, and he comes in behind you. This is probably not literally, but he's coming behind you and he scoops you under the arms from behind. He catches you before you fall, scooping you under your arms like this, and he's pulling you back up. They can actually do things like that. And even if he doesn't physically do it, now you might feel that under the arms, and you might feel that kind of being, or you might all of a sudden sit straighter, like somebody's pulling you up. And you may not even realize it. So now that you hear it, if that happens, I'm not sure he's physically going to do that. Then it should click. That, and once again, validating, telling you love him, thanking him, telling you're grateful for him helping you. But so if he doesn't do it physically, he's going to do it emotionally, asking for help. We have free will choice, and my guides are in Bob, my Bob. They're always good. They're always showing themselves going, Rhonda, why are you doing that crap? You know, stop doing that, because I have free will choice. They can't stop me. They can't stop you. So you have to ask them to help you and give them permission, and give yourself permission to allow whatever they bring you. And it might just be strength energy. It might be love energy. It might be get a phone call from somebody out of the blue. Somebody else's energy that might have knocked your little butt in the dirt might change, because they might work on that part of it. They can open doors for you. Ask them. Ask them. Whatever Dad was good at, but he's showing the strength part, and you are a good boy. He's showing. I always ask him not to show me stuff when you were too young, but he's showing you fairly young. You might remember it, and you are in a mud hole. You are covered from head to toe. You've been wallowing in it like a pig. And he's showing a picture of that, and you rolling around in this mud pit and just having a blast. He says, you were even a good boy then. He's showing a garden hose. He must have hosed you off with a garden hose. So I hope you aren't too young that you can remember that. Okay, so he's showing me like in a living room towards a hallway that would probably go back to the bathroom and bedrooms. I'm just assuming. And you're sitting in the living room, and I don't know if you full on saw him standing there, or usually people see it out of the corner of their eye, and like I can see him head on. But if you thought you saw somebody out of the corner of your eye, and then you turn your head and there's nothing there, and you went, oh, well, it's my imagination. No, it wasn't. Most people, that's the way you see it. Don't know why it's your peripheral vision. And even I do it. If I see him out my peripheral vision, like walking through my living room, and I turn, I don't see him either most of the time. Don't know why. But he wants you to know that he was there. And he still is. He's still popping in there. He's trying to give me some kind of smell related to him, and I thought it was like smoke. It's not like a cologne. You gotta bring it closer. He's talking about Old Spice, so you should smell some cologne, even if it's not Old Spice that he wore. He's referencing cologne. You'll get a whiff of that. You can be in the store, you can be in your car, you can be outside, doesn't matter where you're at. When you get that whiff, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him. And they'll really do it, and we usually kind of ignore it, like if we're having a bad moment, or alarm went off. If we're having a bad moment or something, a lot of times they'll do it then and going, I'm here for you. So talk to him. I promise you 1,000%, he can hear you and he can see you. You just need somebody like me to hear him, but he can hear you. You can say anything you want. You don't even have to say it out loud. If there was some other smell he was going to associate with that, let's see if he's going to do anything else. He's saying Harry, Harry, quite contrary, instead of like Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow, that old nursery rhyme, but he's saying Harry, so it's a male. And he's spelling it H-A-I-R-Y. Harry, Harry, quite contrary. We stink at names and we stink at nicknames because they're like names. Says somebody used to call him, instead of his full name, used to call him a shorter version of his full name too. And so he's showing the living room. It doesn't have to be just the living room, but he's showing himself walking. And he's not stomping on the floor, but he's walking with more like a, not slippers, it'd be more like a boot or something. So whatever that would sound like, you should hear that once in a while. And a lot of times, most of the time, it's not when you're in the same room, but he's showing you in the same room. So you could be looking the other direction. It's usually not when you're like dead on right there, although I have heard that done. And it probably won't be very loud because he's not stomping his foot. He's just kind of deliberately walking. And so if you hear a few footsteps in your house, go, "Hey, Dad, no, that's you. I love you." He's hanging around checking on you. He's heading towards the kitchen. He's heading towards the kitchen, and somewhere you have a drawer, like everybody's got one of these, I think, in their kitchen. It has, you know, screws and batteries and maybe a screwdriver, you know, those odds and ends like that. And he pulls it open, and he's rattling around in there like he's looking for something. But I don't think he's actually looking for something. But whatever noise you've got in there, like if the screws would rattle or the batteries would rattle, or he's showing me a pair of pliers, you would hear the pliers clink or anything like that. And like I said, usually those noises aren't extremely loud. So you might be sitting in the other room and go, "What's that? Sounds like somebody's in my drawer." Sometimes when I'm sitting here and I'm in the dining room and I can't see my refrigerator, but I can hear it shut every so often, and it's not open. I don't know who's getting in my fridge, but that's kind of the way it usually works. I mean, you know it is, you know that's what it is, but it usually doesn't happen when you're standing there and staring at it. So those things are very easy to just kind of dismiss and go, "Oh, my imagination." Okay, he's referencing, he says baby, but I don't know that I feel like it's still a baby. He's not talking about you. Smoker's cough. He's referencing, okay, baby. But I feel like the child is a little bit bigger, at least the age he's referencing. So I don't know if you have a small son or if this is a nephew. I'm not quite feeling the relationship. Usually I can tell that he's acknowledging that he actually, let's see if they interact. Yeah, this young boy, and he's got kind of brownish hair. He looks up at him. He looks up at Dad. So most animals, or at least dogs and cats, I don't know if horses and all that do, but I have seen horses acknowledge him. But most small children have an imaginary friend, and they're not really an imaginary friend. And they'll have it till they're about 9 or 10 years old, and then they know society's going to poo-poo them and call them crazy if they talk about their imaginary friend that they talk to. think almost all of us have had it. So children and dogs and cats see him. He's not really, they're not showing a big interaction, but this boy knows that he's there, hanging around. He's going vroom vroom again. He must really like some kind of fast driving or racing or something. He was making me look. My head felt like it should do this. That'd be almost like watching NASCAR back and forth. Dirt circle track, anyway. All right. Sometimes they ask me to pull a card, so I usually use my release cards. It's something. Oh, they want me to pull another one too, so hang on. But these are release cards. It's about something you need to let go of. But you got surrender to the beauty of the natural world, take a relaxing break, and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. And what they're telling me is you need to go outside and breathe and relax and get out of your cage and get out of your confinement. That's probably a lot of us probably feel that way right now after this quarantine crap. I don't even know what state you live in. Here, let me pause this so I don't waste your time. Okay, so this card literally flew out of the deck, which they pick them for me if I'm not paying attention. And your inner strength can and will move mountains. It looks backwards on my end. It kind of goes back to what he was talking about at the very beginning. So your inner strength can and will move mountains, and ask them for help to do that. He said it's not the end of the world. Yep. Get back here, Dad. Like poof. Okay, he was saying something about how's the old gal. So I don't know if he's talking about your mom. I don't know how old you are. I don't know. The old gal. How's the old gal? I don't know if he's talking about your mom or your grandma. But he has his grandma with him. And she's not skinny. I wouldn't say she's obese, but she's a little bit larger lady, round face. Feels like a very strong-willed lady. Very, I don't know, gruff would be a little too strong for her. Nope. He says, nope, that's not too strong for her. And I don't know how to tell you which grandma that is. And she's not saying anything. They're just letting us know that she's there with him. There's also a man in the background who's nicer dressed, more like a grandfather type figure, but I don't feel like he's with this grandma. Like maybe they weren't together, so it'd be a different side of the family or something. But he's staying way in the back, but he's dressed. He's actually got a suit on, kind of a suit. So he would have been more like a businessman. Let's see if he'll, who else you got? I asked this yesterday in a reading, and woo, a whole herd of them came. He's moving closer. Let's see if somebody's going to follow him closer. It's a large dog, short hair. Looks kind of like my grandson's dog. It's got a big long tail that kind of curls a little bit up over the back. The dog he's showing is light colored, short hair. It's not showing the whole dog that is there with him. So somebody needs to know that their baby's with him. I kept feeling like there was going to be a younger girl, but I can't. She's not stepping forward enough for me to see her. Like 20s, early 20s maybe. when she left. Dad says those things you've been thinking about doing with your life, that you're procrastinating about, that you're just not moving forward with it, he says now's the time. Give it just a few days, probably because we're just opening back up. Yeah, because we're just opening back up, so it may not be the quite the right time until we kind of get things open back up again. And he says you need to start stepping forward into doing that, even if you think the idea is crazy, even if you think you can't afford to, or he says you can part-time. You can, so you can work it around a job or whatever it is that you're doing this that is taking up your time. You can make, say it again, you can make steps towards, this is baby steps towards your goal, your dream. But you sit there and think about a lot that you'd like to do. He says you always have an excuse not to, like what? Like I don't have the money, or so if you need to go back to school or take a class or learn an art class, learn dance class, whatever the heck it is, it doesn't matter. He says you're having trouble figuring out how to find the time and the money. He wants you at least take baby steps towards it. Put that energy out there. You put that energy out there. You tell them, this is what I want to do. And you have to make the effort because they're not going to drop it in your lap. That doesn't usually happen. You've got to at least make a forward movement. He says it'll make you very happy. It'll make your heart sing. So what if it won't make you the richest man in the world? Who cares? It will make you a happier person, a lovelier person, a softer person. And I will be right behind you to help you. We go back to asking them for the help. What was Dad good at when he was here? What were his best qualities? And strength, where he's going to catch you and pick you up. Then ask him for help with whatever he was good at when he was here. And then you have to allow him. You have to allow whatever phone call that comes or somebody new steps in front of you, some new opportunity. You have the right to say no. But will that make you happy? He says again, you're a beautiful person. Now he's talking about, now he's saying chirp, 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 like a bird. Chirp. But he's not chirping like a bird. He's saying the word chirp, 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 chirp. My birds are out there right now. I just saw a yellow finch, or was it an oriole? It was just hovering out there. I don't know if you're going to have a bird like that, a yellow something for a sign. And you might see when this one was like flying in place right next to the bird feeder. So watch for that to be a sign. And even if you see a yellow bird in a movie, and you don't see too many yellow birds, really, not that was bright yellow, or on a billboard, on Facebook, doesn't matter where it's at. You could be walking through Walmart and you kind of feel like your head turns, like, okay, what am I supposed to be looking at? Whenever you get one of those things, like you feel like you need to look over here to the right, and there might be a ceramic yellow bird. That'll be another sign from him. Make sure you tell him you love him. So he's going to let you know that he's around. Talk to him. I can't say that enough. Talk to him. Oh, he says you can call me an asshole too. It's like I'm looking at my Bob. It's like my Bob. After he left, I was like, "You asshole!" all the time. And I asked my medium friend, "Does he hear me?" She goes, "Sometimes he turns you off." Now he's saying, "Don't take life so seriously. Sometimes you just got to kick back and have a beer." Just he said, okay. He says it's more about the connections and the feelings and the intertwining and the interactions. And he's kind of, making everything kind of go together. Than it is about buying a new car or a new couch or any of those inanimate, in, you know what I mean, inanimate things. It's about the love. It's about the intermingling. It's about your soul connections and your soul tribe. And there's somebody about your age. I don't know if it's a brother or somebody that feels like a brother. You know what I mean? This person doesn't have to be blood to feel like a brother. So it's a brotherly connection that is part of your soul group that he's acknowledging. And you guys are just kind of feel it in your gut that you're connected somehow. Could be a partner. I don't know. It's some kind of connection, but I don't really know that I don't feel that it's blood, but it could be. So he said it's about those things because when you get up there, that freaking new car doesn't matter. He says that it's about what's in here because that's what you still have to work on is the love. He says that is the number one most important thing in the world, both worlds. He says, know that I always love you. Always have, even when I didn't show it, even when I was too busy when you were younger to pay any attention. And I did not spend enough quality time with you. And for that, I'm sorry. He's going like this now, like he's wiping a tear. Don't make that same mistake. Make quality time. Make memories. Good memories. That's what you will carry. And he's talking about like in the end of your life when you pass. He said those things and those connections and that love is what you carry to the other side. Your car doesn't get to go with you. Your couch doesn't get to go with you. Those things get to go with you. Those are what's important. He's being very soft spoken about it. So he says, I'll be seeing you around. You can count on that. I'll let you know when I'm there. And now he's going knock, knock, knock. So you might hear some knocking in your house too. And you can hear it like I said, you can hear it in your car. You can hear it anywhere. But it's like it's knocking on the wall, like knock, knock, knock. And a lot of times, I've seen a lot of them, especially lately, they've been showing me like they're in your house, but they stay back in the corner and they don't make any noise and they don't do anything because they don't want you to think your house is haunted and some demon is in there bothering you. Because a lot of times when I go to Clint's houses, all I do is find grandma and grandpa there. And they're just trying to make their presence known. So he might knock, knock, knock. It'll probably be soft. But anyway, sometimes they'll just hang back. So give him permission. Tell him, hey, it's okay. Bring it on. If that's what you want. I love it when they do that. Okay, he's showing the footsteps again. I literally stood in this house and as I was looking down the hall, heard the footsteps coming towards me and stopped right in front of me and stepped 3 times. And I'm going, I'm a medium and I don't see anything, but it was there. So those things can happen. Okay, he says he's leaving. He says, get these things down. When you figure these things out, then he's going to bring you more. But he's definitely going to bring you the strength and the love energy. So be open. Be open to that. Open up to that. It will be awesome. He's showing me one more thing. It's like when I said open to that, and it's like your whole body will be vibrating. So he says yes. So one time my Bob walked towards me and it's like he actually walked into me. I know that sounds creepy, but it's not. And well, it scared me because I never had it happen before, but and just my whole body vibrated with his energy. His energy was it's really cool. It's really cool. So you may get that. So you start, don't think you need to rush to the emergency room. It might just be Dad's energy. You might just ask him, hey, if that's you might want to step out. You're scaring me. Anyway, that might happen. But I think it's only happened to me once or twice. Okay, he's leaving. He says, get this shit down, and then we'll come up with more. Much love to you, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. See you later. Thanks for letting me be his voice.